mapipigilan. Hindi nila mapipigilan. Oh, girl, you know I can't stop. Girl, you know I won't stop. Hindi nila mapipigilan. Hindi nila, hindi nila. Hindi nila, hindi nila. Hindi nila mapipigilan.
You got a lot of nerve, baby, coming up to me like I did you wrong, acting like you own the world lately. No need to deny, I know what's going on. You live off of your pride, I know you're broken inside. You're rolling in the grave of your own mistakes. Yeah. Say hello to the girl you can't let go. Does she know when you're home it's me you're trying to call on your phone? I'm holding back everything I wanna say. Consider yourself lucky that I'm choosing to behave. Does she know? Tell me, does she know? You're calling me every night. Tell me, does she know? And maybe you're wasting your time. Tell me, does she know? You're calling me every night. Tell me, does she know? Does she know? Don't go thinking you still got a hold on me. You're crazy if you think that I still give a damn. I'm sick and tired of all the games that you play. Stay out of my head, don't think you understand. We've been done for so long, I think that you should move on. Wasn't it you who said that I should go? Say hello to the girl you can't let go. Does she know when you're home it's me you're trying to call on your phone? I'm holding back everything I wanna say. Consider yourself lucky that I'm choosing to behave. Does she know? Tell me, does she know? Tell me, does she know? Tell me, does she call me every night? Does she know? Tell me, does she know? Does she know? Tell me, does she know? Does she know?
Damn girl, you know I'm messed up. Letting go of my forever just to see how I could test up. I'm realizing you the best of any of these other women who be thinking they be next up. I've been having dreams of you. I've been wishing I could build a team with you. I've been doing everything just to satisfy my needs. Only after that is when I even think of you. I'm so selfish, I know that I think of these feelings I wish I could hold back. But lately it's Sadie and Nadine and Gina. And after we get it, I see Mona Lisa and you. I had your digits before all these mistresses. I'd give it all back to start back with you. I was adjusting to all this, but now that I got it, I swear all I'm missing is you.
Say hello to the girl you can't let go. Does she know when you're home it's me you're trying to call on your phone? I'm holding back everything I wanna say. Consider yourself lucky that I'm choosing to behave. Does she know? Tell me, does she tell me, does she know? Does she know? Tell me, does she call me every night? Does she know? Tell me, does she know? Does she know? Does she know? Tell me, does she
everyone. Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me okay? Oh, there we go. All right. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Filipino Night 2022. Woo! My name is Faye Alarcon. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a recent graduate from UW who studied public health, global health, and minored in diversity, disability studies, and human rights. And I'm this year's FOSSA UW president.
Hello, everyone. My name is Gabrielle Garcia. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a junior, double majoring in American Ethnic Studies and Communications with a minor in Education, Learning, and Societies, and I am your vice president for this year.
And we're your MCs for tonight. Before we get started with FilNight, we wanted to go over some ground rules for the event. The two main exits are at the front of the room on the left and right side, and there's also two emergency exits in the back. There's a water fountain right outside the door if you need to get a drink of water, and there's also bathrooms downstairs. The elevator to access them is near the front entrance of Architecture Hall.
We also wanted to go over some COVID guidelines for this event. We want to make sure this event is as safe as possible and keep our community safe. So we ask that everyone keep their mask on for the entirety of the event. You may take your mask off to drink, but we ask you put your mask on right after. Food is not allowed in the auditorium, so please eat outside if you must eat. If you are having issues wearing a mask for the event, we will have to ask you to leave and tune in on our live stream. Speaking of the live stream, we are also having people tune in online as we are live streaming on YouTube, on FOSSA's YouTube channel. Hi, Mom! We also ask that you refrain from walking down this main entrance because it will block the live stream. So since we've gone over all the ground rules, we would like to start this event with a land acknowledgement by our cultural chair, Carl Capilli.
Here at the University of Washington, we stand on Duwamish land. We should keep in mind that the lands we occupy were stolen from Indigenous peoples through violence and broken treaties. However, acknowledgement of the history of the land is not enough. These peoples that have been mentioned and their cultures are still alive today, and we must be mindful of our participation in settler colonialism. We must adamantly work towards seeing that justice is realized and that the land is returned. To contribute, you can make a donation to Real Rent Duwamish, or find out other ways you can support your local Indigenous community. If you're tuning in from outside of the Seattle area, visit native-land.ca to find out which Indigenous lands you currently occupy. Thank you.
Thank you, Carl. We also want to start FilNight with the Philippine National Anthem sung by the 2021 to 2022 Officer Board. Feel free to stand if you'd like and follow along in the program.
Bayang magiliw, pelas ng silanganan, alab ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupig, di ka pasisiil. Sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mo'y bukaw, may dilag ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kisap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningi, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng walhati pagsinta, buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya ng pagmay mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Palengke, which is a wet market in the Philippines where goods such as food and clothes are sold. Shout out to all the vendors who are here. And our program tonight will consist of talent show acts from our very own community members, cultural performances, a reveal of next year's officer board, a political corner about the current conditions in the Philippines, and a screening of the animated movie the FilNight team has been working really hard to present to you all tonight.
FilNight has been FOSS's main flagship event that brings the Filipino-American community together. And to share more about the history of FilNight, I would like to welcome our Secretary, Francis McManus.
Hi everyone. Can everyone hear me all right? Yeah. Okay, good. Well, it's so good to be back in person. Thanks to everyone who came out tonight and is spending time with the Kapamilya. Whether you are in FOSSA, were in FOSSA, or are here as a friend of the Filipino community, it is so important to understand the history behind the organizations and traditions we take part in. Like the famous quote from Jose Rizal goes, "No history, no self, and no history, no self." And FOSSA UW has a long 105-year history, one that I will be condensing for you today so that we can really appreciate how and why we got here. Thank you. It starts with the Pensionado program, established by the U.S. government in 1903. This program allowed Filipinos, usually those a part of the elite and upper class, to come to the U.S. to study. This was their way of ensuring their influence over the Philippines after the Spanish-American War, and while this program only lasted till 1910, it inspired a wave of immigrants to the U.S. And those who found themselves far away from home ended up creating spaces for some of the same reasons that we are here today, where they could be around other Filipinos, escape discrimination, and address their issues and needs. And so in 1917, the Filipino club known as FOSSA now was born. Since then, FOSSA has gone by a few other eras and names. We have FilUnist in the early 1950s, which was established jointly with Seattle University. And we have the Filipino Student Association, FSA, starting in the 1960s all the way up till 1994. To briefly touch on FSA's contributions before jumping into FilNight history, a lot of the resources, classes, spaces, and opportunities that we have as Filipinos on campus are all thanks to FSA and other legacy orgs such as MECHA, First Nations, the Micronesian Islanders Club, the Polynesian Student Association, and the Black Student Union. I mean, who here has studied at the ECC? I know the ECC dwellers are here. Yeah, okay, cool. That was thanks to FSA and the legacy orgs in 1972. How about anyone teaching, or majoring in American Ethnic Studies and its courses? Yeah! Yeah, that was established in 1985 by the same orgs. So, as much as I want to talk about FSA all night long because they did a lot of work during their time, to bring it back to FilNight, FOSSA, or the Filipino Student Association, started in the late 1970s to put on cultural nights. This focused primarily on Filipino dancing. It is here that we started seeing the first semblances of FilNight that you know today, and the idea of showcasing our talents, culture, and stories. When we then get closer to FilNight that we know today, in 1995, when FSA changed their name to Filipino-American Student Association. This name reflected the newer, more inclusive understandings of identity and how Filipinos have been an integral part of America and its history. These sentiments were showcased during their cultural night, and the show which started the tradition of incorporating guest speakers, singers, and more. Since then, or more recently, FilNight has taken on many forms, specifically in the form of theater productions such as musicals, parodies of TV sitcoms, beauty pageants, and even a parody of Saturday Night Live. In 2021 and 2020, In 2020, with the pandemic, FilNight took on the virtual form, which included an animated movie, which you can watch on YouTube. Throughout the years, FilNight has been an opportunity to wave our flag, represent ourselves, and address the things that are important to us. We hope that as you watch and experience FilNight now, you are able to see the influences of the past and take pride that you are part of a long history in showcasing who we are. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Francis, for that informative presentation on the history of FOSSA and FilNight. Can you give them a round of applause again? It's always important to root ourselves in the history of our organization and the reasons why we do the things that we do. Next in our program, we will go into our scholarship award announcement.
The first scholarship we will be announcing is the Project Family Scholarship for Filipino-American high school students. To announce the winner of the scholarship, I would like to welcome Project Family Lead Franny Ello and our Community Service Chair Randall Saya.
Thank you, Gabi and Faye, for that lovely introduction. How is everyone feeling tonight?
Wait. I don't think y'all are excited enough. I said, how are y'all feeling tonight? Yeah!
That's what I'm talking about. Well, hello. My name is Franny Ello. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the director of Project Family this year. And I'm also accompanied by...
What's up, y'all? My name is Randall Balboa. I go by he and pronouns. I am this year's community service chair as well as one of the lead mentors for Project Family.
Woohoo! Thank you. We are proudly here to announce the two winners for our Project Family Scholarship. Project Family, for those who may not know, is a program under FOSSA UW that focuses on guiding high school students through cultural, political, academic, and professional development programming.
Yeah, and some examples that we do to guide our high schoolers through these aspects of development are college application workshops, offering mentorship programs, and hosting our annual high school outreach event, Filipino Day.
Every year, we select two outstanding high school students whose personal statements reflect the mission and the values held by Project Family.
This year, we have the honor of selecting two talented high schoolers. So, can we get a drum roll, please?
Can we get a round of applause for Angelique Ragondola?
And our other winner, Bernadette Del Rosario.
Oh, she's right there! Woohoo! Hello. Oh, you could just kind of stand center. Thank you, Angelique, for coming. Our other winner, Bernadette, couldn't make it tonight. But, like I said, every year we select two outstanding high school students who really reflect what our mission and values are in Project Family. So these two high schoolers that you can see above and Angelique right here represent the values of Project Family, and they will each be receiving a $250 scholarship to achieve their academic pathways.
Yeah, let's give it up for our winner!
Thank you so much and congrats! Thank you. That is all.
Right. Congratulations to our PF scholarship winners. Next, we will be announcing the winner of the Steven Santos Memorial Scholarship. To announce the scholarship, we have Steven's sibling, Sarah Lynn Santos. Unfortunately, they weren't able to attend in person today, but they have a recorded video to announce the recipient of this scholarship.
Good evening. My name is Sarah Lynn Santos, and I'm here to present this year's recipient of the Steven Santos Memorial Scholarship. Through the performing arts, we find spaces to share our own talents. But perhaps just as importantly, we find community with others. No one exemplified this more than my brother, Stephen. Stephen was a senior at UW, majoring in astronomy and physics. He was also an aspiring YouTuber, an active member of the UW Chorale, and a dedicated part of Filipino. When he first joined FilNight as an actor in 2018, he found a community, and he wanted to help others have that same experience. To that end, he stayed involved in FilNight, becoming the assistant director in 2019, and finally directing and writing the whole show as the 2019-2020 cultural chair. The Stephen Santos Memorial Scholarship is presented every year to students who demonstrate Stephen's dedication to performance, culture, and community. All that being said, please join me in congratulating this year's Stephen Santos Memorial Scholarship recipient, Randy Elliott. She originated the role of Leonore in Stephen's Filipino Night, Life, and has served as a lead in Filipino Night for the past 2 years. Thank you so much for your contributions to FilNet and to FASA, and congratulations, Randy.
Good job, Franny. Congratulations.
I didn't realize I'd be coming up here again right after that. Thank you.
Yes, congrats, Franny. Okay. Now we will be going into officer transitions. Are you ready to see who the FASA officer board is? Woo! Before we get into introducing the new board, we would first like to bring out our external and internal interns, Jamila Sese and Krista Orhudos. Woo! Thank you guys for everything you guys have done this year for our board. Can we do a round of applause for our interns? You got a music?
Okay, now we would first like to announce our 2022 to 2023 academics chair. Everyone give it up for Randall Saya!
Yeah! Come on! Just stand here. Next, let's welcome this year's activities chair, Chloe Giselle, to the stage. Now we'd like to introduce the activities chair for the 2022-2023 school year, Matthew Pedraja.
Let's bring back out this year's community service chair, Randall Saya, to the stage. Woo! And now we'd like to introduce the community service chair for the 2022 to 2023 school year, Caitlin Ferronda.
Yeah! Let's give a big round of applause to this year's cultural chair, the man behind FilNight, Carl Capilli! Yeah! Now let's give a warm welcome to the 2022-2023 cultural chair, Kimberly Quiocho. I'll hold it, you say it.
Okay. We'd now like to bring out this year's fundraising chair, Desiree Salise.
Can we also bring out our historian, Lauren Tan Vital?
And our political chair, Camille Gipaya.
Wait, Faye, where are their successors?
I wonder who they are. Let's bring them out.
What? We have... we are still looking for people for these 3 positions, and maybe it could be you in the audience. Yeah, it could be you.
All right. Yes, after FilNight, we'll be posting a graphic with more information about these positions. There's still an opportunity to join FASA's board next year.
Yes, please apply. Being on FASA board is so much fun. But anyways, let's move on. Next, can we bring out this year's public relations chair, Ryan Bautista? Yes! Everyone say thank you to Ryan for leading this year's FilNight Marketing Committee and designing our beautiful logo and branding. Yeah! Now, we'd love to introduce the public relations chair for the 2022-2023 school year, Danica Oriel.
you. Now, let's give a big round of applause for this year's Sayaw coordinator, Laika Lucero. And let's bring out the 2022 to 2023 Sayaw coordinator, Jess Gonzaga. That's my awning.
Oh! Wow! Now we will move on into our executive board.
Let's bring out this year's Secretary, Francis McManus. Woo! And now let's give a warm welcome to the 2022 to 23 Secretary, Grace DeClinas.
Yes, unfortunately, Grace cannot be here tonight, but let's give her another round of applause. Now I'd like to bring out the man who makes it rain for FOSSA. Give it up for this year's treasurer, Alfred Escorpizo. Escorpizo! Now let's bring out the new money man. Give it up for Brandon Mendoza.
It's my honor to welcome the best right-hand woman, FOSSA's biggest support person, and the dancing queen herself, Gabrielle Garcia. Woo! Now I'd like to welcome out next year's vice president, Jamila Sesson.
Okay. Now for the woman of the hour. She's the one in power. She constantly empowers. Give it up for the face of FOSSA, my favorite president, Faye Alarcon. Yeah! Yes! Now it's my honor to announce next year's FOSSA president. Everyone give a big round of applause for Anton Achilles Reyes. Unfortunately, they were also unable to attend tonight, but can we give them another round of applause? Flowers? Yes. We're going to take a picture with the new officer board, but we first wanted to give a real thank you to our seniors. So can I have Faye, Carl, Camille, Laika come up here? Come to the middle. We wanted to... These four are graduating this quarter, or some of them have already graduated. Actually, 3 of them have graduated. But we just wanted to give them flowers and thank them for everything they've done and thanking them for being part of the FOSSA community. Congratulations! Thank you, seniors. Oh, and Alfred, where were you? Why were you hiding? Can we get another round of applause for Alfred? Yeah! Okay. We will now take a quick photo with the new board and the old board. New board in the front, and then we'll be in the back. Yeah, you're in the front. Thank you.
Can we get another round of applause for our officer board last year and this year?
Okay, thank you, and give it up for your 2022-2023 officer board one more time. I can do this one. I can do this one. That's it. Now it's time for the talent show portion of the night. Our first performance is by our new activities chair, Matthew Pedraja. He started singing since the beginning of high school and has been and it has been a major outlet for him to deal with stress and gain more confidence in himself. He will be collaborating with his friend Han Wen, who will be playing the piano while he sings a cover of Bitter Love by Ardito Perano. So let's give it up for Matthew.
There is bitter in every day, but then I feel it that you would be the only one. Sometimes it doesn't have to be so sure. The sweetest love can be so hard to find. Would be better in every way, but then I would go to be in outer space. Sometimes the bitter of love can be so good. It's like a coffee with a rainbow's mood. Sometimes you feel up, but sometimes you feel it right. Is here to be, or it is not to be? To fall in love again, to be the one for me. Sometimes you fall, but every time we'll be together, we'll be mad in every way. Then I remember the story when last September. Sometimes recalling things would be so good. It's like a perfect cake that my grandma's made. Sometimes you feel off, but sometimes you feel it right. Is it to be, or it is not to be? So fall in love again, to be the one for me. Sometimes you fall, but every time we'll be together, we'll be better in every way. But then I would go to be in outer space. Sometimes the bitter of love can be so good. It's like a coffee with a rainbow. It's like a coffee with a rainbow. It's like a coffee with a rainbow's mood. With a rainbow's mood.
Everyone give another round of applause for Matthew and Hanwan. Our next act is a spoken word by next year's secretary, Grace DeClinas. Writing has always been a hobby for her and started writing because her parents wanted her to know that her voice is important. She'll be performing her own spoken word tonight. So give it up for Grace.
I haven't tried hard enough to hear your story. All that I know have come in phrases, details lost like a game of telephone. Shame stings, for I can only grasp grains of sand when our history spans shorelines, but more of it is swept away by the tide. I still don't know why the only time I chose to ask was when I had to. The dial tone rings and your voice cuts through with joy as I try to remember the last time we spoke. As you speak, your story takes form once more of the many times it will. Each word is a new piece of the story I had been told, like brushstrokes on a canvas. You left the Philippines because finding work was turning up every stone. I said I will take any job so I can support myself, you told me. Despite the heavy looks and glares or how the US denied your education, you continued to work. As a mark of resistance, you helped bring family over. A mark of resistance to the place who took our homeland and ravaged it beyond recognition, who forced our people to leave. They gave you $25 and you gave life to 3 generations of home. When you finish speaking, you are left in tears. Grateful is the period to every sentence, to every story you tell me. But sometimes I worry that roots I've grown here plant me too firmly to the ground, that even when I stretch and reach branches and limbs toward the skyline, towards the clouds, that tell me if I fly high enough I can feel them, I'll realize the clouds were always just water. White puffs turned puddles in my hand. Or when I look in the mirror, I worry the lines, the features of those who came before me are no longer seen on my own. Would they recognize me as their own? But our culture has never been defined on looks alone, has never been firmly planted in one place. Caught between 2 worlds, between 2 places, unsure of which one defines me more. You must know that feeling too, of who to be, of what to say and when to say it. And still, you forged your identity in a place that would tell you to do anything but keep it. I am bound to you, wrapped up in your history. Every action I take, every word I speak is built upon your foundation. Who am I in the story of my family? What will be the next mark of resistance?
Wow. Okay, poet. What a way with words. Can everyone give another round of applause for Grace? Grace, if you're watching, we love you. All right. Next up, we have Charlize Manzano. They are first year majoring in history and minoring in education, learning, and societies. In their free time, they love to sing and can also play a little bit of the piano and ukulele. Today, they will be singing and playing Happier on the Piano by Olivia Rodrigo. Give it up for Charlize.
We broke up a month ago. Your friends are mine, you know. I know you moved on, found someone new. One more girl who brings out the better in you. And I thought my heart was detached from all the sunlight of our past. But she's so sweet, she's so pretty. Does she mean you forgot about me? Oh, I hope you're happy, but not like how you were with me. I'm selfish, I know, I can't let you go. So find someone great, but don't find no one better. I hope you're happy, but don't be happier. And do you tell her she's the most beautiful girl you've ever seen? In eternal love bullshit you know you'll never meet. Remember when I believed you meant it when you said it first to me. And now I'm picking her apart, like cutting her down, make you miss my wretched heart. But she's beautiful, she looks kind, she probably gives you butterflies. I hope you're happy, but not like how you were with me. I'm selfish, I know, I can't let you go. So find someone great, but don't find no one better. I hope you're happy. I wish you all the best, really. Say you love her, baby, just not like you love me. And think of me fondly when your hands are on her. I hope you're happy, but don't be happier. Ooh. hope you're happy, but don't be happier.
Wow. Everyone give another round of applause for Charlie. Did the singing gene skip anyone else? Because it definitely skipped me. All right. We're almost halfway through the show. And to end the first portion of our show, we have a live performance by FOSSA's dance team, Legacy. Today, they will be performing a hype piece to some Filipino-American pop artists like Ate Sweetie, Bruno Mars, and Kehlani. So give it up for Legacy.
Let's go, Gus!
Okay, Tiana. Let's go, Sonic.
I thought you were.
Am I not able to hear it?
No, I'm not, so I'm home. I don't know.
Can't stop, ain't stop, too hot. Came around the rollies, you set up the t-shirt. She is. Switch your sides on me, so that I know where you live. And I love you so bad, that's what you say. Told me, baby, please don't go away. But when I play, I never stay. Say, girl, that I need, this is what
Is it what?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Thank you, Legacy. Can we give them another round of applause? Now, I want to hand it off to our fundraising chair and treasurer, Desiree Salise and Alfred Escorpizo, who will be leading our Miracle Minute.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I just got my Be Real notification. Wait, hold on, guys. We gotta take a photo.
Really? Hold on, let's do it.
Okay, mine's bugging out, so let's do yours.
Is bugging out too?
Oh no. Okay. Oh, here you go. One, two, three. Oh wait.
I
Nice.
came out my too.
Okay. Oh, you too. Okay.
Alright.
Get that side.
Okay, we're good.
Okay. Thank you so much for that wonderful intro, Faye, and for Gabby too for emceeing this night. Can we give our MCs another round of applause? Maayong gabi mga higala. My name is Desiree Salise and I'm your fundraising chair.
Naimbag Arabi sa inyong lahat. My name is Alfred Escorpizo and I am your treasurer.
Hold on, Alfred. What's a miracle minute?
Glad you ask. So a miracle minute means what the literal phrase says, making miracles in a minute. But in all seriousness, it's a segment where we give you, the audience, a chance to donate as fast as you can and as much as you're able to within a set amount of time.
Thank you so much for that explanation. Tonight, we'll be raising money for Kabataan Alliance's Kapit Bisig Relief for our kababayans affected by Typhoon Odette. Typhoon Odette made landfall last December and was the strongest to hit the Philippines that year. Over 6.2 million people were affected and displaced across the islands and provinces of Visayas and Mindanao. I could stand here and read you the facts and figures, but I feel like it would be more meaningful for us to hear from someone with a lived experience. My cousin, Cooks, has generously sent this video to share with us, to share her experience undergoing the typhoon that affected over 1.1 million families.
Hi, I am Mariela Samilan, but I am Migo Barcos, and I am one of the many people who experienced Super Typhoon Rai, or what we call here in the Philippines as Bagyong Odette, during December 17, 2021. It was probably one of the most terrifying and traumatic experience I've had so far. And that's saying not just for myself, but for the people who experienced it as well. It was just like living in a dystopian movie because everything was just destroyed, everything was in shambles, everything was in pieces. Houses had no roofs on it, roads were barely passable by foot. People are still recovering from what happened. Uh, Families are slowly rebuilding their homes, but there are just some people who are having a hard time in just picking up the pieces. But now the city has recovered well, but it's still very far from where it was before the storm. Everyone is just trying to just stand back on their feet, to just live life even though we experience that much destruction, that much pain, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually. But we are all just trying our best. Donations are very much appreciated and are still of big help for those who still need it.
So throughout this year, FASA, along with Northwest FASA and their affiliates, has been raising money for this Capit basic relief. These proceeds will go towards urgent needs like providing clean water, sanitation facilities, shelter, health services, and restoring livelihood. So far, as of right now, FASA has raised $741.91 through our ongoing FASA Pins fundraiser and our most recent Krispy Kreme fundraiser. With your help, we are hoping to surpass over $1,000 tonight.
So if you can, please donate to our Venmo. It's at FASA-UW. There are also going to be 4 baskets being passed around in the audience for cash donations if you're able to. Yes. So there's going to be 1 basket on each side and the bottom corners and then the top corners as well. So if we could play the music and then we can start donating. Yay! Yeah!
Allison.
Bakit ba kung kailan kaya naisip na bibitawan ikaw yung paraiso, diba? Huwag ka nang mag-alinlangan sa't hindi ka iiwanan, ikaw yung tahanan, diba? Kahit saan man tayo magpunta, di nadhanang makikita, diba? Kung ang oras man ay humadlang, pipiliting balikan.
Alas 12 ng gabi, dilat pa din nating mata kahit hindi magkatabi. Kahagan pa din kita, sulyap ko mga ngiti mo magmula sa kabila. Ramdam ko din ng takot dahil ikaw ay nagdududa kung sigurado ka ba sa'kin, kung dapat bang ikaw ay maging akin at lahat ay isugal sa ditiyak na tatahakin mong landas. Iniisip na lahat ng tawa'y matatapos at biglaan na lang kukupas. Pagdating ng panahon, akalain ay ikukulong sa kahon, di iwanan pag nagkaroon ng pagkakataon. Kahit problema'y mala, ang buong lang nga ba mali ka kung ganon, hindi ko sa iyo magagawa iyon. Kaya sa akin na lang itugon ng pansin ko sa'yo ay walang kahambing
Bakit ba kung kailan ka'y naisip na bibitawan ikaw yung paraiso, diba? Huwag ka nang mag-alinlangan at hindi ka iiwanan, ikaw yung tahanan, diba?
Di ka pinipilit maniwala, pero alam ko ramdam mo, diba tamang hinala kapag kasama, oo kakaiba. Mga gulo sa isip mo'y di alintana, kaya wag mababahalan na sumama sa'kin, sabay ka lang sa biyahe, wag kang bababa sa'kin, magtiwala ka, matakot man ganun lang talaga. Sasaluhin kita, dadalhin kita, ipapasan ka sa likod kapag napagod ang paa. Hindi ka mananalo kung hindi ka susugal sa laro ng puso, at lalong hindi kita sasalubungin para lang sumalong at iwan kang mag-isa sa mundong mapaglaro. Alam ko na gusto mo din, kaya wag kang magbibiro, malilito, dahil tunay ang pag-ibig ko.
Kahit saan man tayo magpunta, di nadhana.
So much for your generosity. So as of right now, just Venmo alone, it is going to be a rough estimate, but we actually raised over $1,000. So thank you so much, everyone, who that donated. Yeah.
I'm speechless. I'm speechless. Thank you so much, everyone.
So all of your donations will definitely help out all of the lives that back in the Philippines. And we're still gonna continue selling our enamel pins after and during intermission, I believe. And yeah, thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Jez and Alfred. We will now be having a 10-minute intermission. Feel free to use the restroom, get some fresh air, talk to friends and family. During intermission, we will also be having an open karaoke session in front, so feel free to come down and sing with us. Just make sure you keep your mask on the entire time. See you in 10 minutes. Who's starting it? Not me. Who's claiming it? Someone claim it. Anyone want to claim? Anyone want to start karaoke? What should we play first? Or something fun? What's up with this? Oh my god. Was this the one we played yesterday? Yes. If we do the Ocho first, can all the officers at least drum?
Y'all are doing great.
Huh? Oh, what? What about it?
You gonna do it into the microphone?
Oh, true. Never mind. Oh, do you want me to?
Well, actually, for the video.
Okay. I know you guys know this. Come on. Come on.
Lunat ang kamay, bumagon na sa kama. Kung yan ko pa, lumanag ka. Kung wala pa rin, wag mo nagpilitin. Buksan na lang ang TV o sa rin. Tunog at bagong step, nakakagsising. Hihing. 1 plus 1 equals 2. 2 plus 2 equals 4. 4 plus 4 equals 8. Double in an 8 tayo mag 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, what, 8, 8, what, 8, 8, what, 8, ay, apa. Hindi lang papalay, ang botong gumumutay. Tuwa-tuwa, come on, someone join me, yo! Come down here, come on. Lahat ay sumabay. Hi. Carl, come here. Yes, 1 equals 2. 2 plus 2. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Plus 4 equals 8. Come on, come on. Intermission ang tayo'y mag-ocho-ocho. Ocho-ocho. Ocho-ocho. Ocho-ocho na. Ocho-ocho. 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 Ocho-ocho na. Ocho. Di ba kaya? Ocho na. Ocho-ocho.
Wait, dude, I can't do it.
Ocho. Mag-ocho-ocho pa. Hey y'all, thank y'all for coming for Phil Night. If y'all want to keep singing, come down here, y'all. Let's go!
Someone hold this right now.
Y'all take this away from me.
What song you are? It's karaoke.
What song did we do?
Karaoke was sung in English.
Maybe, yeah.
Mamma Mia.
Who's gonna lead it?
I feel like people would just sing from their seats, right? People can sing from their seats.
Yeah. Should we start going through the aisles?
Go for it.
Yeah.
Getting it to people.
What's I?
Oh my god.
Wait, what do you want? You should put on basang na ulan.
Wait, I know this song. Finish this one out. Do it. Do it.
I've been cheated by you since I don't know when. So I made up my mind, it must come to an end. Look at me now. Will I ever learn? I don't know how. That's why me lose control.
There's a fire within my soul.
Just one look and I can hear the bell rings. One more look and I can feel everything. Whoa. Here I go again. My, how can I resist ya? If I my, just so much I miss ya. Yes, I've been broken hearted. Blue since the day we parted. My, how did I ever let you go? My, I could never let you go. I've been angry inside. I can't make a cut. Oh, where am I going? Wait, okay. Oh, wait. Oh, what? You know. Oh, okay. Just one look and I forget everything. Oh, wait. One more look and I forget everything. Whoa, Mamma Mia. Here I go again. My, how can I resist ya? Mamma Mia. Doesn't show again. Yes, I've been broken hearted. Blue since the day we parted. My, why did I ever let you go? It's a game we play. Bye. Does it be forever? Mamma Mia. Here I go again. My, how can I resist ya? Mamma Mia. Does it show again? My, just how much I missed you. Yes, I've been broken hearted. Blue since the day we parted. Oh, did I ever let you go? Mamma Mia. Now I really know. My, I could never let you go. Woo!
Intermission? Okay, one last song. Oh, wait. Magkakita ka na. Oh, ito yun! Ano ba? Oh.
Pag nakita ka na, parang pamaiba. Bumibilang sa aking ang mabuhay mo. Mga magkabalang magkaka sa nakakalunong mong ganda. Halika na, tinambol lang sa aking mga mata. Huwag ka tititig sa iba. Aking ka na, wala nang iba. Andito ko hanggang sa aking mahalin kita sa pagkahulog. Nakahawak ako, pero nang pipita. Habang buhay ko ay iyo.
Oh my god, y'all got hyped up for this. You
gotta
want to
sing
sing this one? Nah, it's okay.
Kakanta ako.
You're gonna sing it?
No, just kidding. No.
You got it, bro. You got it. Any more karaoke? What do you want? Lemonade by Jenny Belgian? As a closing and then really?
We might have just reached 2,000.
Oh my god! Okay, lemonade's the last one and then we're gonna go.
Oh my god.
Not lemonade. That's how I get the Filipinos, right, back.
I'm not singing in the middle. Wait, what am I singing? Hello? Is this working?
She my sunshine in the rain. My talent knowing I'm in pain, yeah. Let me tell you what she means to me. Like a tall glass of lemonade when it's burning hot on summer days. She's exactly what I need. She's soothing like the ocean rushing on the sand. She takes care of me, baby. She helps me be a better man. She's so beautiful. Sometimes I have to close my eyes. She's exactly what I need. My successor? She's my smile when I'm feeling blue. She's my good night's sleep when my day is through, yeah. Let me tell you what she means to me.
Kinda like what? She's kinda like this.
Kinda like the feeling after your first kiss. Except that every day she makes me feel like this. She's exactly what I need.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah, she's soothing like the ocean rushing on the sand. She takes care of me, baby. She helps me be a better man. She's so beautiful. Sometimes I stop to close my eyes. She's exactly what I need. Yeah. She's soothing like the ocean rushing on the sand. She takes care of me, baby. She helps me be a better man. She's so beautiful. Sometimes I have to close my eyes. She's exactly what I need.
Oh my god, it keeps going.
I need.
Right now? You want to do it now or later?
Up to you.
I think we put it like in a note in the script for later. Okay, sounds good. All right. All right, welcome back, everyone. Hope you had fun during karaoke. Like I said, the singing genes skipped me, unfortunately. So, all right. We are going to jump back into the talent show portion of the night. To start off the second part of the show, we have a duo called Garbrandy. Gabby and Brandon are dancers for the UW Undivided Dance Team and wanted to bring some of that energy to FilNight. Today, they'll be performing a piece that they choreographed together to Z4L by Smino. Give it up for Garbrandy!
I'm so sorry for telling you it's a touchscreen because
I was like,
I don't know.
all right, everyone give another round of applause to Garbrandy. All right. For our next talent, we have Mark Hoven and Emily Blake, who will be singing a cover of Rise Up by Andra Day. They both have been singing for a long time and are part of the same a cappella group for this school year. They hope to inspire and uplift our community with their talent. Give it up for Mark and Emily.
Hi everyone, my name is Mark.
My name is Emily.
And we hope that you've been enjoying FilNight.
And we hope you enjoy our performance as well.
Thank you.
You're broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round. And you can find the fighter, but I see it in you, so we walk it out and move mountains. We can walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day, I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, high like the waves, I'll rise up, in spite of the ache, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you.
it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet and move mountains. Bring it to its feet and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. All we need is hope. And for that we have each other. And for that we have each other. And we will rise, we will rise, we will rise. Whoa, we will rise. I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day.
I'll rise up in spite of the ache, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. I'll rise up high like the waves.
I'll rise up in spite of the ache, and I'll do it 1,000 times again.
For you, for you, for you, for you. We will rise again and again.
Again and again.
Wow. I actually have no words for that. Everyone give another round of applause for Mark and Emily. Quick plug, if you want to hear Mark sing again, Mark played Jose Rizal in FilNight last year. And if you watch the videos on YouTube, you can hear him sing. All right. Next, to end the talent show portion of the night, we have a performance by House Slippers. They are a newly formed local band that likes to play a variety of music together. They are excited to share their debut with FASA and Filipino Night. Today, they'll be performing a cover of Love Plus You by Jensen and the Flips. Give it up for House Slippers.
Ooh, girl, I can't help it. You say I told you so. We but I'm so glad I have you. There's love and there's you. There's love and there's you. Sometimes I ain't really sure about it, but I'm so glad I have you. There's love and there's you. We won't cuddle too much, we won't share our lives, we won't do this often, we won't cross that line. We won't cuddle too much, we won't share our lives, we won't do this often, we won't cross that line.
Thank you so much, House Slippers. Yes, Bellamy was our past cultural chair, so can we give it up for House Slippers and Bellamy? Yay! This concludes the end of the talent show portion of the night. Next, we have a performance by Fasa's traditional dance troupe, Sayao. Yeah! To introduce their performance, I would like to invite the current and next year's Sayao coordinator, Lecter Lucero and Justin Zaga.
I don't know how to use this. Let's go. Okay. Okay. Can I speak now? Thank you. Hi everyone. Welcome to. Thank you for coming to FilNight 2022. My name is Angelica, or you can call me Laika Lucero, and I'm this year's Sayao coordinator.
Hi everyone, my name is Jessica Gonzaga. I'm the incoming Sayao coordinator for next year. Sayao Filipino Folk Dance Troupe is a student-based performing arts dance troupe with the Filipino-American Student Association at the University of Washington. Taking the name from the Filipino word meaning dance, Sayao shares and celebrates the rich cultural heritage of the Philippines through the artistic expression of dance. While striving to give Filipino Americans the opportunity to gain knowledge and awareness of their cultural heritage, Sayao has grown into a great community resource to learn and appreciate traditional Filipino culture, art, folklore, and history.
Thank you, Jess. For the past 2 years, due to the pandemic, Sayao has continued to share its appreciation of Filipino folk dance through the submission of our former performance videos. We also continue to hold our practices through Zoom, and as challenging as it was, we still made it through, and we're one of the very few Filipino folk dance groups to actually survive the pandemic. Earlier this year, we slowly transitioned back to in-person practices by requiring masks in our spaces and also encouraging and requiring negative COVID tests at the door from our members. We have also had a few in-person performances in the past few months, and we've received so much support and appreciation from our community. For FilNight this year, we wanted to take a little bit more of a creative license with Sayao's video. After talking with our instructors, Ate Lizelle and Kuya Pat, we decided on taking inspiration from Filipino Night 2003, I believe, also known as Filipino Night Live, which showcased videos describing the Filipino and Filipino-American experience through short skits in the style of Saturday Night Live. So there's a bit of a storyline to our video, and it's like a little goofy and funny, but it's like meant to be that way. So yeah, we really wanted to have some fun with our FilNight video this year, especially since we weren't able to do that last year due to a lack of resources and just not being able to interact with each other as much. For our set, we decided to use our Barrio Fiesta set this year, which we've been working really hard on with the dances Pukol, Binasuan, and Bangko. So we hope you all enjoy our performance. Thank you for watching!
So to wrap up this presentation and conclude, I just wanted to say that Filipino cuisine is very rich and there are so many dishes, each unique with their own delicious flavor.
Thank you, Trevon,
Wait,
for that
can
wonderful...
Can I just say, Lumpia's trash.
Thanks for that critique, but I think I'll be having you exit this meeting. Goodbye. Now, on to Luis with his presentation on life.
What the? Yo, bro, what? Is my computer tweaking? What's that?
Yo, what the? Yo, give up, what?
Wait, where am I? Is this a dream? Is it all real? I can't tell. Wait, Wait, I found an ender pearl. Hold on, let me throw this real quick.
Luis, wake up.
You didn't wake up, god damn it.
Wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
Luis,
Luis,
wake up.
you need to wake up.
Luis,
Yo, what? Jess, what are you doing here?
you need to wake up.
Wait, what?
Want food assistance? All right. All right. Thank you so much, Sayao. I felt like I just watched the whole movie. That was epic. Next on the agenda, we have a cultura that is performed by honored by a new dub. Let's hear it for ABU dub. Oh, hold both. Oh, snap. My hands are small. Okay. Awesome.
Hi everyone, my name is Claudia. I use she, they pronouns, and I'm a member of Anak Bayan New Dub. Thank you. And for those that don't know, Anak Bayan UW is a grassroots, comprehensive, national democratic mass organization of Filipino youth and students at UW and the North Seattle area. We are an overseas chapter of Anak Bayan Philippines, fighting for national democracy back home and the liberation of masses in our homeland. And to preface before I continue on with the cultural, I want to define a term called martial law. Martial law is where the military has complete, unlimited authority to make and enforce laws, whatever means necessary, thus resulting in rampant violence against our people. This happened during the Marcos Sr. era, back in the mid-1900s, and it also happened back in 2017 during the Duterte presidency. And so I want to teach you all a chant. And so it goes, never again, never again. I'll say that. And then y'all in the audience will say, never again to martial law. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, so we can like practice. Never again, never again. Never again, never again. Thank you. And so I will begin with the cultural. We will not forget the more than 3,000 killed under Marcos's martial law. We will not forget the more than 30,000 lives taken from us under Duterte's war on drugs and war on human rights defenders and activists. They did not die in vain, but with honor. We rise to continue their fight. Lorena Barros, Silme Domingo, Jean Viernes, Emmanuel Lacaba, Liliosa Hilao, Archimedes Trajando, Edgar Jobson, Juan Escandor, Ishmael Kimpo Jr., Chad Book, Randy Malayao, Angel Rivas, Lenny Rivas, Willie Rodriguez, Manny Asuncio, Antonio Hilario, Gian de los Santos, Carl Angelo Arnaiz, and Skylar Abatayo. We rise for the martyrs of our movement. We rise for the peasants. We rise for the workers. We rise for the lawyers. We rise for the teachers. We rise for our youth. We rise for the toiling masses. We rise with our fists up against another fascist dictator and say, Maki Baka! Wag matakot! Thank you.
Thank you, ABU Dub, for that tribute to honor the people we've lost due to martial law and atrocities against human rights in the Philippines. Next, some members of FOSA and ABU Dub will be leading a political corner to talk about the history of activism and resistance in our community.
Magandang gabi po sa lahat. My name is Camille. I use she and her pronouns. We're thankful to be gathered here today, taking up space and making space in this large institution to celebrate the Filipino community that has existed even before FOSA was established in 1917. During this time, we have continually questioned the Filipino identity. Internally and externally, displaced in America, we struggle with this very question. Ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng pagiging Pilipino? Or what does it mean to be Filipino? Finding avenues to find answers through the language, maybe Tagalog, Ilocano, Bisaya, or Bicol, maybe through regional food, attire, folk tales, or art. These traditions attempt to define our identity. But are those really the symbols that declare who we are? Being Filipino has always been about caring. Caring not only for our family, for our friends, but for our kababayan, maybe here in Seattle, or all the way in Cabanatuan, in Nueva Ecija, or Bataan. It has always been about standing next to one another with our fists, present in creating history against the imperialist states, Spain, the US, and Japan. We resisted for our freedom. Kalayaan, freedom. Kalayaan is what we have demanded and still demands. Names of Ferdinand Marcos and Rodrigo Duterte have impeded the human rights of our people. During the administration, unchecked violence of extrajudicial killings, tortures, bombings, displacement of indigenous populations, attacks on teachers, women, farmers, workers, journalists, human rights defenders were committed. And now the incoming administration of Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has the high probability of continuing the legacy of his father and his predecessor. In the midst of this, our community never stopped fighting, organizing in the streets with banners, flags, music, and so on. The people are united. United to fight for the genuine freedom of the Filipinos. Today, as we present the film and as we continue the program and beyond, I would like to question the definition of the Filipino identity. Ang tao, ang bayan, ngayon ay lumalaban. The people, the country, we are now fighting. Change will always be driven by people. The fight continues, and change is the people.
Hello? Okay. Thanks, Camille, for the introduction. And to add on to the idea of the importance of the Philippines and the Filipinos to come together and serve a common goal, that being to serve our own community, there are many examples, historical examples of this, which I'm going to talk about, and that I feel exemplify what it means to be Filipino and what it means to have a unified Filipino people. Going in a bit of a chronological order, we can start with the Katipunan, which is the first picture on the slide. A group of people founded on the unification and liberation of the Filipino from Spanish rule. Although the revolution and outcomes weren't perfect, much of the archipelago chose to come together, which is what I and others view is what we think the Filipino is and ought to be. Outside of regionalism, outside of identity, outside of anything that comes before the greater good for our people. Another organization that I wanted to highlight is Kabataan Magkabayan on the second picture. A revolutionary group which, at least within the context of the Marcos dictatorship, was led by the activists and masses and resulted in the People Power movement and the eventual oust of Marcos. A feat that not only empowers people across the world, but is an experience within our parents' and our grandparents' generation. That fight and drive, just like many other Filipino resistances have had over time, is in our blood and should be the cause for change, especially as college students on a college campus. With all their accomplishments, one thing that remains certain between all these organizations and what we've seen today is the catalyst for change in the Philippines has largely been the youth, or in other words, us. High school, college, working, and all other youth and masses. In addition to our passion, conviction, and dedication to fighting for better conditions, as Camille talked about, resisting and ultimately fighting for what's best for us and our people is a core part of our Filipino identity. It's inherent to our Filipino identity. Knowing this, I urge everyone to think about what they've done to be an example of the Filipino identity for themselves and those around you. Is it something that Filipinos at large and we should be proud of? And if so, do be proud of being Filipino. but also continue fighting, struggling, and living for our people back home and here. Many Filipino youth were left hopeless with the election results. Many elders were left saying this is just how it is. With many others' thoughts and perspectives between that, but the last thing I want to share is that complacency with unfair conditions for all Filipinos, every Filipino, is something with our Filipino identity, is that something we should be proud of. The organizations and our ancestors would outright and without question say no. And if we are to honor them and carry on to their legacy, you should say no and act as well. I'll then be passing it off to Faye to talk about another organization that y'all should be familiar with and how this connects.
Being in community with each other is what FASA Sayudab has always celebrated and prided itself in. As an organization, FASA Sayudab strives to educate our members on both Filipino and Filipino-American history and empower our members to continue advocating for the rights and well-being of the Filipino community. We have a long-standing history of activism on the UW campus. We served a pivotal role in student organizing efforts at UW, from helping to establish the American Ethnic Studies Department and advocating for the creation of the Ethnic Cultural Center that many of us find solace and sanctuary in. These efforts are the reason why we get to experience the community that FASA has given many of us today. When we talk about community, however, it's important to include the Filipino people back home in that definition. Our community back home is experiencing violations of their basic human rights and are living in a reality where the safety and well-being of their friends, family, loved ones are threatened every single day. Being in community with each other means educating ourselves on the conditions back home in the Philippines. It means advocating for the basic human rights of our people back home. It means involving ourselves in collective community efforts for a better world. And now I would like to pass the mic on to some organizations who will be talking about the Philippine Human Rights Act.
Hello again, friends. Yes, so I am here representing Anak Bayan UW, and just to preface, the Philippine Human Rights Act is a bill that has been introduced on the Congress floor here in the United States. So this is an actual bill, a piece of legislature that we are advocating for heavily as Filipinos in the U.S. because we recognize the severe human rights violations that have been happening in the Philippines under the Duterte presidency over the last 5 years. And we recognize the issues of the toiling masses, the masses of people, and especially like the working class and the peasantry and fisher folk, and those in the countryside. And so it's very important to us to propagate the Philippine Human Rights Act because it demands an end to U.S. military aid and U.S. funding to the Philippines. If you live here in the United States, you pay taxes, right? And a portion of those taxes go straight to the Philippines and other like countries that are under state repression. And so we have a part to play here too. There was actually over $500 billion total so far that has been going to the Philippines and going to their military, going to their governments, which are the entities that are impacting our kababayan, the violence, like giving rise to the violence that they face. And so we are here today as organizations who have come together collectively and written a statement of unity and endorsing the Philippine Human Rights Act. And so I will start us off. Anak Bayan UW, the Filipinx Association for Health Careers, the Filipino-American Student Association at UW, and the Sisterhood of Pi Nu Iota wholeheartedly endorse the Philippine Human Rights Act, a bill introduced in the United States House of Representatives that demands for the suspension of U.S. military aid to the Philippines until the human rights crisis is addressed and relevant government personnel are held accountable. Under Kabataan Alliance, a nationwide alliance of progressive Filipino youth and student organizations united to serve our people back home and in the US, we are committed to promoting the rights and welfare of Filipinos in the US, the Philippines, and beyond. As member organizations of Kabataan Alliance, we have worked together throughout the 2021-2022 school year to educate our organizations and the broader community at the University of Washington on the human rights crisis in the Philippines. Our advocacy has included our Filipino-American History Month 2021 critical exploration of the US-Philippines relationship, our February 2022 cross-perspective educational series on the human rights crisis in the Philippines, and mobilizations throughout the year to actively denounce human rights attacks on the Filipino people committed by the armed forces of the Philippines and Philippine National Police under the US-funded Duterte administration.
With the recent stolen elections of the Marcos Duterte tandem in the Philippines, it is more critical than ever for all of us to defend the human rights of the Filipino people. The US-backed Marcos dictatorship committed more than 70,000 imprisonments, 34,000 tortures, and more than 3,400 salvaged, the term for extrajudicial killings. Suppressing assembly and media, Marcos Sr. effectively imposed a one-man rule via martial law in the entire country for 14 years. The darkest chapter in Philippine history and democracy. The U.S. Duterte administration is responsible for the extrajudicial killings of 30,000 plus Filipinos in their so-called war on drugs, which is in fact a war on the poor. They sanctioned the bombings, militarization, and forced displacement of hundreds of thousands of Moro, Indigenous, and peasant communities. And there is rampant red tagging, harassment, illegal arrests, EJKs of youth and students, teachers, women, Indigenous peoples, workers, farmers, journalists, lawyers, and human rights defenders. Under COVID, Duterte's militarized response to the public health crisis resulted in the harshest and longest COVID lockdown in the world, while the budget allocated for health was plundered. The government corruption, state neglect, and violent repression under the Duterte administration only served to exacerbate the economic and health issues in the Philippines.
As we look into the incoming administration, we only expect the continuation of the same violence, a violent, repressive, and anti-people policies which solely benefit foreign entities and the elite 1%. Ultimately, this will result in the worsening of the economic and health crisis back home. Already, President-elect Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has said that he will continue to strengthen the National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict, or NTF-LCAF, which targets and silences legitimate critics of the government and progressive people's organization by red tagging them as fronts for so-called communist terrorist groups. Vice President-elect Sara Duterte, who is set to become the Secretary of the Department of Education, has shared her intentions to make military service mandatory for all people 18 years and older. Under such policy, Filipino youth will be indoctrinated and forced to commit human rights violation against their own people. Through their own self-serving initiatives, as well as their failure to condemn the wrongdoings of their parents, it becomes clear that the incoming administration will continue the violent trajectory set forth by their blood predecessors. As taxpayers and residents of the United States, millions of our taxpayer dollars fund the AFP and PNP, supplying training, weaponry, surveillance systems, drones, etc., used against ordinary citizens. If our tax dollars continue to be used to send military aid to the Philippine government, we can only expect the human rights violation will worsen under a Marcos Duterte regime in the coming months and years.
As Filipinos in the United States, our ties to our homeland are not only familial or historical, but political and ongoing. Our presence in the U.S. is the product of the colonial history and complex relationship of the U.S. and Philippines, the poor political and economic conditions of the Philippines, and laws and policies such as Marcos Sr.'s labor export policy, which continues to systematically funnel Filipinos out of the country and displaced families. Our voice and our action in the US matters. The local legacy of Seattle-based anti-martial activist Silme Domingo and Dian Viernes, as well as the current-day achievements of Kabataan Alliance and other progressive Filipino organizations in relief efforts, education, and advocacy clearly demonstrate the positive concrete impacts that US-based Filipinos can have in supporting our homeland. We too share in our kababayans' aspirations for the dignity and livelihood of the Filipino people. We are united to exercise the fundamental rights to freedom of speech and expression, freedom of assembly, and freedom of association in support of our kababayan who fight to exercise these same rights in defense of their dignity and livelihood. Filipino-American advocacy for Filipino issues is not meddling in foreign politics. By educating ourselves on the dark, lasting impacts of the Marcos regime and the repressive reality of the Duterte administration over the last 6 years, we're able to think critically and make informed decisions about how we relate to our motherland. When we educate, unite, and act with our community for the rights and welfare of Filipinos, we amplify the demands of our own people from whom many of us have been estranged because of the corruption and poverty that pushes Filipinos to seek safety and opportunity abroad. Filipino-American advocacy for human rights in our homeland is our right and our responsibility. Instead of funding militarization and the commission of human rights violations in the Philippines, the U.S. government can and should use our taxpayer dollars to fund the basic needs of struggling people here in the U.S., including education, housing, and healthcare for all.
Therefore, with this united endorsement of the Philippine Human Rights Act, we declare the shared dedication of our organizations to continue education and advocacy for the PHRA in the years to come. We call on local federal government officials, including Representative Adam Smith, Senator Patty Murray, and Senator Maria Cantwell, to endorse the Philippine Human Rights Act. We call on our members to continuously monitor the developing human rights crisis and actively and intentionally participate in our efforts to promote the rights and welfare of the Filipino people in the Philippines and abroad and assist in the campaign for the PHRA. We call on our broader student, faculty, and staff community at the University of Washington to endorse the Philippine Human Rights Act and demand that elected leaders work towards its passage in the United States Congress to achieve government accountability as a first step to securing the rights and welfare of our kababayan.
Thank you all. And this statement will be posted on all our social medias. So Pioneer Iota, Fasa Sa UW, Anagbayan UW, and FOC as well. And so you'll be able to access the statement and review it and also have access to all the resources so that you can take action and also keep up, like Camille said, keep up with the growing human rights crisis back home. Thank you so much.
Thank you to all the organizations for that powerful statement. It's now time for the moment you all have been waiting for. We'll be showcasing the animated movie the FilNight team has been working on for the past few quarters. We are providing a content warning for violence against Indigenous peoples of the Philippines and the sound of a gunshot. To help me introduce the movie, I would like to bring up one of our scriptwriters this year, Tiana Andresen.
Oh my god. Hello everyone. First off, thank you to all those start over. First off, thank you to all those organizations for kind of setting the scene for us. Of course, it's really important for us to know about these things, and a lot of us on the scriptwriting team thought about a lot of these things as well. Again, thanks you all for coming to watch. Who's excited? So my name is Tiana Andresen. I use she, their pronouns, and I am here representing the entirety of the scriptwriting team. Can my fellow scriptwriters stand up real quick and Let's give some clap. Yeah, give it up. Yeah! Krista, stand up. Yeah! Yes, keep it going. Hey. Yeah, this shit's hard, guys. Like, writing's hard. This is the first time I've actually seen all of us in not a Zoom room together, so that's fun. Shout out to y'all. And Carl, why didn't you stand up? Stand up. Yeah! But for real, thank you, scriptwriting team, and thanks for letting me speak on behalf of all of us. So the film you see today was originally part of part 3 of 3 short mini stories, all touching on the legacy of resistance, trauma, love, and more throughout the generations. Part 1 was set during the Philippine Revolution following an undercover journalist. Part 2 was during the People Power Revolution, reflecting on the impact of the Marcos regime on the Philippines, migration, displacement. And Part 3 was reflecting on the current day events with Duterte's extrajudicial killings and the red tagging of activists, scholars, journalists, and Indigenous land defenders. All right, who here is a hopeless romantic? I know half of y'all are lying. Put your hand up. Yes, me too, and you'll see it in the script. This story is, simply put, is a queer and an Indigenous Filipino love story. Oh, yes. And Alex and Tala represent a story that connects the livelihoods of those in the diaspora to those in the Philippines, and is a story that reminds us that resistance movements are rooted in love for each other. We invite you all to embrace the kilig, because there's a lot. Sit with the conversations that are being depicted, and remember that we all have a stake in each other's well-being. So much of these systems thrive off our despair, and I invite everyone, especially with all the shit that's going on, to choose radical optimism and hope. Alex and Tala remind me that we are not alone in this fight, and in fact, we have so much to win for. There are all things that we can do, and it's up to you to choose how you contribute to our collective life and well-being. Thank you again for coming out to see our film, and we look forward to winning the fight with y'all. Thank you. Give it up. Thank you.
Anak, look at your collar. It's so uneven. And your hair too, Alex.
Dad, I'm gonna be late.
Nako, Alex. You wouldn't be late if we left 3 hours ago. Do you even have your passport?
Yes, Dad, I'll be fine.
Don't forget to FaceTime us when you get there, ha? You know how dangerous it can be there.
Okay, Dad, gotta go.
Sus Mariosep, so impatient. Ingat!
Ingat.
Good afternoon, passengers. This is your captain speaking. We are currently cruising at an altitude of 2,000 feet and airspeed of 300 miles per hour. The time is 4:37 p.m. We are expecting to land in the Philippines in an hour and a half. I'll talk to you again before we reach our destination. Until then, sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the flight.
Qui me souriait.
orage, et dans cet orage, elle a disparu. Et j'ai crié, a dit pour qu'elle revienne. Et j'ai pleuré, oh j'avais trop de peine.
Hi, I'm Christina, but everyone calls me Chris. You ba?
Hi, my name is Alex.
Hi, Alex. Where are you from? I came from the province, and it's my first time here at the campus.
I actually just arrived from the US.
Oh, you come with me. I'm gonna walk around the campus tomorrow with my friends. Young room na ya, across lang from us. We're planning to go to... OMG, are you a fan of BTS too? It's Welcome Day Paula today! Gising na! Gising na! Ugh. Sabi mo, you wanted to go walk around the campus with us before we attended the Welcome Day event.
Sure.
Hello, is this thing on? Okay, cool. Hi everyone, welcome to UP's Welcome Day. Can I get a round of applause? Yes, clap here.
Oh, is this your payong?
Salamat.
Oh, ayan, may partner ka na.
Wait for what? A partner?
Tulad na sinasabi ko kanina, ang huling proyekto niyo para sa klaseng ito ay ang pagsulat ng isang critical na sanaysay o paggawa ng isang maikling dokumentaryo tungkol sa iba't ibang muka ng revolusyon sa ating kasaysayan. Katulad ng katipunan, people power, at pati na rin sa kasalukuyan. Gusto kong gumawa kayo ng isang makabuluhang komentaryo tungkol sa tatlong nabanggit at kung paano sila naugnay at kung paano nito sinasalming ang ating kakanyahan bilang mga Pilipino. Kung meron naman kayong ibang naisip, ipatingin nyo muna sa akin. Halimbawa, nung nakaraang semestre, may naghalintulad na mga kwento ng mga babaeng manunulat sa nakaraan at kasalukuyan tungkol kina Maria Ressa na inyo nang kilala at Florencio Quiñones, isang bayaning wala masyadong pagkilala na nag-ambag sa Pilipinong panitikan kontra sa mga Kastila. May katanungan ba? Kung wala, gamitin niyo ang natitirang oras para magplano.
Hi, sorry I was late to class because I accidentally went to a different class, but it turns out that Professor Brigado teaches that class and I heard that they were a terror teacher and got scared, so I left and realized that it wasn't even my class in the first place. Dodged a bullet, am I right? Anyways, I ran from NCPAG to here, and then it started raining, and I thought, wow, this is like the rain in Seattle, but warmer. Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you, I'm an exchange student. Anyways, what are we doing in this class? Oh yeah, my name is Alex, by the way. Good thing I came in late, because Now you have a partner.
Um,
Oh, yeah. I forgot to ask. What's your name and where are you from?
Hala? I'm from Bangued in Abra. It's in the north if you've ever heard of it. Moved to Manila in high school because of stuff.
Oh. By the way, did you sign up for this class because of Professor Agoncillo?
Mm-hmm. He's a very well-known prof, not just here in UP. I've read some of his books, like...
Oh, yeah, for the project. I was thinking that we could just meet every week starting in November at the Gonzalez Hall Library to discuss the project. That'll give us around 2 months to finish the project.
Oh, alright.
Bago kayo tuluyang umalis, ano nang bangang kasasayan?
Mga nangyari sa nakaraan?
Higit pa ito sa mga kaganapan na nakaraan, ang kasasayang ay isang sanaysay na may saysay sa grupo o pangkat na mga taong pinagsasalasayan.
Well, that was... something. Anyway, where are you headed to now?
To the canteen for lunch?
Oh, me too. Let's go together.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I hope I didn't keep you waiting for too long. I was dying in the rain.
Oh, it's okay. I've just been thinking about ideas for our project. I'm actually a film major, so how does a documentary sound?
Yeah, that's cool. I love watching documentaries.
Oh, nice. How about you? What's your major?
Mass comm. I'm hoping to be a journalist. So, Tala, did you have any topics in mind?
I was thinking of asking Prof. Agoncillo if we could do a documentary on the legacies of Philippine presidents. You know about their differences, but mostly how nothing that much has changed throughout history.
Damn, that's hella big brain. How'd you come up with that?
Oh, well, I was just listening to this song and went, Philippine elections are rigged. Only the first names change. Last names, same shit. They're all just talking puppets on a string.
Philippine elections is rigged. Only the first names change. Last name, same shit. Huh. Talking puppets on a string.
Try catch me, Kuya, but you can't get me.
That was the most fun I've had in a while. I can't believe we got so close to the stage.
I'm really happy you came with me, Tala.
Ang lalim niya. Sana all.
Stop. Oh my god, I'm tired now. Okay, bye you too.
I'm glad we could loosen up before this weekend. I'm super nervous to meet your family. What if they don't like me? What if they ask me things that I don't know about?
Alex.
Do they like aspiring journalists? Are they strict?
Alex, it's okay. It'll be okay. I'll be there with you, and I'm sure that my family would love you just as much as I do.
You love me, huh? Well, I want you to know that.
Tara, kain na tayo.
So, Dala, how do you and Alex know each other?
We're really good friends from UP, tita. I met Alex in Kasaysayan 1 po because we had to be partners for a project.
Oh, that's good! By the way, how's UP? Hopefully you're not one of those students on TV protesting about everything, ha?
Tangina, pera ng tambayan.
Sinabi mo pa, remember last September, they were rallying against Duterte and Marcos. My God, mga walang utang na loob. When we were growing up, the Philippines was at the top because of Marcos. It was the golden age of the Philippines. Now we're drowning in drugs. Tapos grabe makapag-complain ang Duterte's war on drugs. At least siya may ginagawa. Kaya pura kayo dada ng dada. Did you know our economy was doing great during Marcos? Because of him, we have the LRT, Maharlika Highway, and iba pang infrastructure. Reklamo ng reklamo di huwag gamitin.
We don't owe the Marcoses. We don't owe politicians anything. It's their duty to serve the Filipino people. Also, Marcos left the country in an economic disaster. You are still paying for the debt he left, you know. And those infrastructure projects, well, he, his family, and his cronies pocketed development funds from them. And even if the economy was good back then, it didn't and will never make up for all the atrocities, tortures, and killings that the Marcoses had committed. And Duterte...
What would you know, Iha? You weren't even alive back then, so you wouldn't know anything. Well, Iha, the Philippines is different from America.
Imbag isuna taada pakina, haan nga kasla. Hey, are you okay? I'm sorry about what happened there. My family still has a lot to learn, but I promise they mean well.
It's okay. I get it. Your family's opinions are real, and I'm going to encounter conversations like this anyways, as a journalist, so...
Well, at least in the US, it will be coming from a white American instead of a Filipino.
You'd be surprised. Hey, Tala, can I tell you something about my problems with my dad? It's just what your Tito boy was saying. It's a lot different hearing people, your people, say those things aloud. My dad never showed me how to be outspoken because he was always worried about me being attacked for speaking out. When your Tito boy answered back, my heart started beating faster and I didn't know what to say. Maybe I am in over my head, Tala.
Alex, no, you're not. It's okay to feel unsure, and honestly, you're the first person to talk back to Tito Boy. You should have seen his surprise.
He was pretty red.
You're not in over your head. And even if your dad never showed you, what you did there was all part of the learning process. Trust yourself, Alex.
Yeah, true. See, that's why I like writing. I can say what I mean without being scared. When I told my dad I wanted to be a journalist, he was understanding, but warned me that what I wrote could impact my life and safety. Your Tito boy showed me that in real time. I mean, he wasn't gonna punch me or anything, but I just don't know what to do, really.
And that's okay not to know. Whatever you decide to do, I will support you. But honestly, what your dad said, when you brought up being a journalist, it scared me a bit.
Tala.
I never really told you about why I moved here, and not for the school reason, but the reason my whole family was forced away. My best friend Luna, growing up, she was outspoken just like you, agitated about the conditions we were living in. She had gone to protest the construction of a dam that would have been built over our ancestral domains. And because she had opposed the government's interests, she was mistaken for a communist, and in the end, was killed for it.
I'm so sorry, I didn't know.
I just miss her so much. And I don't want the same thing to happen to you. Luna and I used to go here as kids. After she passed, this is where I go to remember her.
Tala, when you said you loved me...
Oh, what I meant was, I was actually referencing my family and,
Tala, kaluguran da ka. I love you too. And I'm sorry that you had to experience that so young. I promise to be there for you always and fight for a world where nobody else has to go through that. I will always be here for you, Tala.
This feels like our first kiss all over again.
Well, prepare for a million more first kisses.
Would you like something to drink?
Let's go, Plaza.
We're done now.
Oh yeah, do you have a girlfriend yet?
Ang sarap! Ang bibo! I can't believe we're done with college.
Yeah, same.
So, you're going back to the US, huh?
Well, I was gonna surprise you. I'm thinking about staying here and applying for maybe like Rappler or maybe a CBN. We could get an apartment together and stay in Manila. You could make your documentaries, or maybe we can make one together. Look, before you say something, I know we talked about this before, and I understand where you're coming from, but people need to know what's happening. It's only been a month since the election, and there's so much going on. People must know before it's too late.
Too late? What's too late, huh? When there's already a bullet in your head?
Tala, who's gonna do it if not us? It's hard to speak up nowadays, but we can, so we should.
And if you do say something, I'm going to lose you.
And if you lose me, there is still a world to win, Tala. We have to. I have to.
Luna, anong gagawin ko?
My dad, he's in the hospital. My mom is hysterical and doesn't know what to do, so she asked me to come back.
Well, are you?
Yeah, I'm going back. My mom bought me a ticket for tonight. Looks like you got what you wanted. What you and my dad wanted. Bye, Tala. I hope you're happy.
Alex. Alex, wait! Hindi ka pa ba nawawalan ng pag-asa sa Pilipinas? Simula kay humabon hanggang sa kasalukuyang administrasyon, wala pa ring nagbabago. Mga sakim na elitistang nakaupo sa pedestal, tinitraidor mga kapwa nilang mga Pilipino, walang iniisip kundi sarili nilang kapakanan.
Kaya nang tayo lumalaban, para di ba initontan inansiklon ito? Paano di aahon ang Pilipinas? Nagpapaalipin tayo sa kung sino man nasa itaas, mapabanyada man o kapwa nating Pilipino. Hindi tayo magiging tunay na malaya hanggat di tayo natututo sa ating kasaysayan. Tala, hindi kasaysayan ang sarili nitong manunulat. Tayo ang gumagawa ng kasaysayan. Tayo ang may hawak ng kinabukasan.
Alex!
Please proceed to the recording for stage A11 for records.
Yep, please look here and take off your mask for a second. Sorry, bro. You just look like a kasama who we used to work with. Same last name, too. Anyways, you're good to go.
Salamat po. Ingat.
Huwag kang mabahala, ikaw ay mahalaga. Hindi kita pababayaan. Hindi tayo naiiba at sana'y paniwala ang napipiliin kaaraw-araw. At alam ko ang aking kaya, alam ko ang hindi, alam ko ang kailangan upang makapagsilbi. Hanggat may kabutihan, hanggat may pag-ibig, liwanag ang mananaig. At hindi ko may papangako ang kulay rosas ng mundo para sa'yo. At hindi ko mailawan ang lahat ng anino, pero sisigapin ko at hindi ako magpapahinga hanggat hindi mo pa magawang muling ipagmalaki na ika'y isa. Pilipino. Huwag kang matatakot, may kasangga ka sa laban na ito. Sabay natin gisingin ng nasyon. At alam ko ang aking kaya, alam ko ang hindi, alam ko ang kailangan upang makapagsilbi. Hanggat may kabutihan, hanggat may pag-ibig, liwanag ang mananaig. At hindi ko may papangako ang kulay rosas ng mundo para sa'yo. At hindi ko mailawan ang lahat ng anino, pero sisikapin ko at hindi ako magpapahinga hanggat hindi mo pa magawang muling ipagmalaki na ika'y isa. Pilipinong may pusong sagutin ang tugon, Pilipinong may tapang na muling bumangon, Pilipinong buo ang paninindigan, alam ang tama at totoo. Samahan mo ako.
Oh, 21, 22.
Wrong year, okay. There he is. Got it. Go Wait, and thought. Oh no, it's the program. Wow. Can we have another round of applause for that movie? Woo! Before we go on to giving on our more formal thank yous, we're going to hand it off back to Jez and Alfred to talk about how much money we've raised. You got the calculator out.
I have to. All right. Thank you, Faye. Sorry, my voice is kind of hoarse right now. So, thanks, Faye. So tonight alone, we actually raised Venmo plus cash in total is $1,258.09. Yeah. And in total, with all of our fundraising that we've started, we actually surpassed the 1,000. And in total, we raised a total of $2,000 for the typhoon relief. So thank you everyone for all that donated in our typhoon relief for like the Miracle Minute and the fossil pins that y'all have bought earlier. We will be selling them again later after the show, so stick around.
Let's give ourselves a round of applause. We could have done it without you all. Thank you so much. And to end the night, we wanted to give recognition to the people that helped make FilNight possible.
So if you see your name on screen or the committee that you were a part of or team that you were a part of, we ask that you head down to the stage if you feel comfortable for a picture.
We would first like to thank our vendors. Give a round of applause to them and thank you all for vending at the Palengke. Feel free to come down if you're a vendor. Yeah, come on down. Wow. We would now like to thank our performers for the night. Give a round of applause to them and thank you for sharing your amazing talents with us. Let's do them. We would next like to give it up for our 2021-2022 officer board who has been working hard all year. I couldn't ask for a better board. Come on down.
And performers too, come down.
Yes.
Everyone come down. All right. And while Gabby's up here on stage, we actually wanted to say a big thank you for all the hard work you've done this year as our VP. Gabby's actually heading to Singapore next week for her study abroad. So we just wanted to give you a thank you for all the hard work that you've done for us. And we're really going to miss you, Gabby.
Oh my gosh, I was not Thank you. Oh my god, I was not expecting this. Wow. Okay. But thank you, board. I love you all. But to continue the thank yous, can I bring out Legacy, please? Yeah! Legacy, come on down. Oh my god. Okay, and then next, can we give it up for our Sayao dancers? Thank you for your beautiful performance. Now let's give it up for all the people who made all the graphics you can see and brought you here tonight. Can we give it up for marketing committee? Feel free to come down, marketing committee. And next we want to thank our small but mighty editing team. Yeah! And now let's give it up for our cast. Yeah! Oh, still an artist. Cast, yeah! And now let's give it up to our script writers who made this beautiful story. Thank you all.
All of the writers, even if you wrote part 1 and part 2, please come down. And also, let's give a round of applause to our amazing artists who animated the movie. And finally, it's my absolute honor to bring down the person who made this entire night possible, our cultural chair, Carl Capili. Carl is one of the most driven and passionate people that I know. He's been working tirelessly this whole year to bring Filipino Night to life. He put so much love and care into this show that really translates into tonight. On behalf of the officer board, we just want to give a huge thank you to Carl for everything you have done. We are so proud of you, and it's truly been an honor to serve this organization with you. Give it up for Carl.
Yeah, Carl.
Okay.
Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Ako po si Carl Capili, ang inyong cultural chair sa taong 2022. Hello everybody, my name is Carl Capili, your cultural chair for the year 2022. And after another year of experiencing what was a roller coaster of a pandemic, there were many challenges along the way with this production. Omicron had obstructed our original intention of making FilNight this year a live-action movie, which would have been divided into 3 acts revolving around our revolutionary history. The Philippine Revolution in 1896 to 1898, the People Power Revolution in 1986, and finally today, how we continue to mobilize against oppressive regimes like Duterte and Marcos in the present day. While we weren't able to realize our first two objectives with the live movie, nor bring the first two scripts to life, we still persisted and decided to focus on the third script, given its timeliness with the Philippine election, saving the remaining two scripts to be turned into comics books this coming summer. With all of these challenges in mind, I couldn't be more grateful to the FASA community, who I've been able to call my home away from home during my past 3 years here. This year had especially shown me the meaning of community and Padayon, as with the setbacks that we faced, my FASA family was always there to support me and help me overcome these barriers together. As FilNight and my time at the UW comes to a close, I would like to give a thank you to everyone who had made all that we saw tonight possible. To the talented scriptwriters, Tiana Anderson and Elijah Arenas, to the cast whose growth I was impressed by in these past few months and have only since seen blossom, to the marketing committee who made the creative ads that brought us all here, the artists whose visuals we feast our eyes upon, and the video editing leads who seamed everything together and worked tirelessly to give us something to watch. And finally, to you, every single one of you sitting in these seats today, thank you for being here. For it is you that we look up to, you that we hope for, and you that we continue to strive for a better tomorrow. Maraming salamat po. Y'all got me a little flustered.
I wanted to thank you for everything you've done.
Oh.
So we wrote some letters for you. We also got you flowers.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for everything you've done for FilNight. We really appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys. I couldn't have done it without y'all.
Everyone,
Thank you. Okay. And so, to close out the night, one thing we like to do in FASA at the end of every meeting is do isang bagsak. I'm gonna need to put this down really quick. And I might even need to take down this microphone. But essentially, isang bagsak translates in Tagalog as one fall. But here we translate it in FASA as one step down, one step closer to our goals. The history behind isang bagsak is that it originated as a unity clap used during the Delano grape strikes as a means of showing solidarity between Mexican and Filipino farm workers who were obstructed by the language barrier. Isang bagsak is also known as having been used in the People Power Revolution in the 1980s against the Marcos regime. So now we're gonna do the isang bagsak. For my alumni in here and my current members, y'all are gonna know how this goes. But for the rest of y'all who don't know, very simple. Okay. Essentially, what we're gonna do is we're gonna clap really slow, and we're just gonna build up, and then just isang bagsak, and then we're good. Okay. So I'm gonna put this down, and y'all just follow after me. Okay.
You ready?
Thank you, everybody, for attending FilNight! You did it! I'm taking this off.
How do you,
I don't know.
like, unflip them?
Yeah, it's stuck. But I'm glad it lasted the whole night.